Alright, in this video we will practice a little bit more with long division. We will do synthetic division in the next video. Okay. Alright, pencils down, people. Do not do your homework along with me. Watch the video, learn how to do it, but then go back and do the problem yourself. That's the only way to learn. So first of all, the setup. We will do x minus 1, and that's going to be divided into the rest of it. So x to the 4th power plus 2x to the 3rd power minus 5x squared plus 3x minus 1. Okay. This is bothering me. X minus 1. So we start off by looking at these two terms. And we ask ourselves, x times what will be x to the 4th power? Hopefully you realize that would take x to the 3rd power. Okay, and I'm going to put it over here. It's good to line up your like terms. X to the 3rd power, x to the 3rd power. So again, I got this because x times x to the 3rd power is x to the 4th power. Once you have that, do the distributive property. So I'm going to take this and I will distribute. So x to the 3rd times x, of course that'll be x to the 4th power, that's what we wanted. But x to the 3rd power times negative 1 will just be negative x to the 3rd power. Okay. Once you do the distributive property and write that down, the next thing you do is subtract by changing the signs. Okay? So these will cancel. Now, positive 2x to the 3rd power plus 1x to the 3rd power is 3x to the 3rd power. Alright? And I'm going to bring down everything else. So that'll be minus 5x squared plus 3x minus 1. I just brought it down. So now we basically start over. Okay, so again we're looking at the x, but now we're looking at the 3x to the 3rd power. And ask yourself, x times what makes 3x to the 3rd power? Well, that would have to be 3x squared. X times 3x squared will make 3x to the 3rd power. Okay, once I have the term that goes up here, I will take it and I will distribute with it. Okay, so 3x squared times x is going to give me 3x to the 3rd power. 3x squared times negative 1 is negative 3x squared. Alright, next we subtract by changing the sign. So minus, plus. Alright, these are going to cancel out. Okay, negative 5 and positive 3 make negative 2. So this is negative 2x squared. And then we'll bring the rest down. So plus 3x minus 1. And now we start over again. Okay, so now we're looking at these two terms, and we are asking ourselves, x times what makes negative 2x squared? Well, you see the negative 2, so you know we're going to need that. Okay, because 1 times negative 2 is negative 2. But we also need x squared, so I get x times x will make x squared. So negative 2x times x will make negative 2x squared. Once I have this number, this term, I need to do the distributive property. Okay, so negative 2x times x, of course, is negative 2x squared. Negative 2x times negative 1 is positive 2x. Alright, as soon as you do that, you subtract by changing the signs. So this will become positive and this will become negative. So these, of course, will cancel out like they always do. Okay, positive 3 and negative 2 make 1. So this is just 1x, or x. And I will bring down the negative 1. Okay? One more time. Start over. So I've got x and I've got x. So I ask myself, x times what makes x? Well, x times 1 makes x. Now I take that 1 and I do the distributive property. Here and here. So 1 times x is x, and 1 times negative 1 is negative 1. I will immediately subtract by changing the signs. Okay. Everything cancels out. So that makes 0. So this problem has no remainder, and this is my quotient. This is the final answer. Okay, so that is number 1. All right, let's take a look at number 2. Okay, I'm noticing there's a missing term here. I see the highest power is 5, so I'm looking for it to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. But instead it goes 5, 4, 2, 1, 0. The third term is missing. Okay, there should be a third power here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze in a 0x to the third power as a placeholder. Okay, so when I set this up, I'm going to have x minus 2 divided into 3x to the 5th power minus 2x to the 4th power. Now here comes the missing term, plus 0x to the 3rd power plus x squared minus 4x plus 12. Okay, so that was the key, is to not leave out that missing term. Now let's get started. I'll just keep it the blue for now. So I'm going to look at the first 2 terms. So x times what makes 3x to the 5th power? Let's see. Well, I'm going to need a 3, and I'll need an x to the 4th power. So I'll need 3x to the 4th power. Line it up. Line up your x's to the 4th power. Once you have this, do the distributive property with it. So 3x to the 4th power times x is 3x to the 5th power, just like we wanted. 3x to the 4th power times negative 2 is negative 6x to the 4th power. Okay, immediately change the signs. All right, that's how we subtract. So that's going to give us, let's see, negative 2, positive 6, that's 4x to the 4th power. And just bring down everything else. Okay, so I'll bring down my 0, x to the 3rd power, my x squared minus 4x plus 12. Okay, and now I start over. So I ask myself, x times what will make 4x to the 4th power? Well, I need the 4 to make the 4, and I will need x to the 3rd power, all right, because x times x to the 3rd power will make x to the 4th power. Okay, so I will take this 4x to the 3rd power and I will distribute. 4x to the 3rd power times x is 4x to the 4th power, just like I wanted. 4x cubed times negative 2, that is negative 8x to the third power. Subtract by changing the signs. Minus, plus. Okay, now these will cancel. 0x to the third power and positive 8x to the third power make 8x to the third power. I'm just going to bring everything else down. So that makes plus x squared minus 4x plus 12. Then you start over. All right, now we're looking at the x and the 8x to the third power. So x times what will make 8x to the third power? Well, I'm going to need the 8, and I'm going to need x squared. All right, 8x squared times x, because now I'm doing the distributive property, so I might as well do it. So I'm taking this 8x squared, and I am distributing. So 8x squared times x is 8x to the third power. 8x squared times negative 2 is negative 16x squared. All right, we will subtract by changing the signs. So make this minus, make this plus. How much space do I have? All right, lots of space. These cancel out. But 1x squared plus 16x squared make 17x squared minus 4x plus 12. Just bring these down. Okay, time to start over again. This time we are looking at these two terms, x and 17x squared. So you're asking yourself, x times what will make 17x squared? Well, you know you need that 17, and you're going to need an x, because x times x is x squared. All right, now take that 17x squared and distribute. All right, so you're kind of doing this. All right, if you multiply 17x squared times x, 17x times x is in fact 17x squared. Now 17x times negative 2 is negative 34x. Okay, I'm really taking up a lot of space here. You need to subtract by changing the signs. Okay, if I combine negative 4 and positive 34, that's going to make 30x. And I bring down the plus 12. And I start over. All right, so 30x. So now I'm asking myself, x times what will make 30x? Well, that's 30. X times 30 will make 30x. So it's time for a 30 up here. Okay, so plus 30. Now I'm going to take my 30 and distribute. Okay, so I'm doing this. Sure enough, 30 times x is 30x. All right, now 30 times negative 2 is negative 60. Okay, I am going to subtract by changing the signs. Okay, and this is going to leave me with 72. Okay, positive 12, positive 60, that's 72. All right, and that's the remainder, guys, because I've already got to the constant. So This is certainly the remainder that's left. And what I do with the remainder is I put it over the divisor. Okay, so I'm going to go, all right, plus 72 over x minus 2. That's how you form the remainder, okay? The remainder over the divisor added onto the end. So that is the final answer. For number 2. Okay, man, that was a long problem. I still have 2 more problems to do on this video. Hopefully this one will go a little quicker because this video is already 15 minutes long. Okay. Any missing terms? Yep, there's a missing term there. Watch out. There's a missing term right here, so we'll have to put in another 0x to the third power. But okay, so I'm going to do this one a little bit faster than the last one, now that you've gotten some practice. So I've got x squared plus x minus 6, and that will divide into x to the fourth power plus 0x to the third power, got to hold the place. All right, minus 13x squared minus 36. So first, you look at your x squared and your x to the fourth power. And you ask yourself, x squared times what will make x to the fourth power? X squared times x squared will make x to the fourth power. So I'm going to put x squared, but I'm going to put it way over here. Why? Line up your like terms. Once I have this x squared, I'm going to do the distributive property. All right, this time I have 3 terms to multiply by. Okay, so here I go. X squared times x squared, that's x to the fourth power. X squared times x, that is x to the third power. X squared times negative 6, that's negative 6x squared. Okay, so there you go. Now subtract by changing the signs. So minus, minus, plus. Okay, these cancel out. These just make negative x to the third power. These make negative 7x squared. And this comes down. Okay, once again, we start over. So this time I'm looking at these two as the first 2 terms. So x squared times what will make negative x to the third power? I'm thinking negative x. Oh no, there's another missing term. I don't think it ruins anything yet, but I just noticed there's another missing term between the x squared and the 36. Okay, there should be an x term right there. I don't think it's a problem though, so let's see. So just notice there should also be an x term, 0x, right there. So I'm just going to slide this over. Okay, didn't really matter, but I'm going to slide this over. So, alright, so I should have a plus 0x term. And then the minus 36. Okay, that's better. So anyway, I was saying that x squared times negative x. And that's why I realized that it was missing, because I should be lining up my like terms, but there was no like term. So this is what I need. And now I'm going to do the distributive property with it. So remember, this is negative x. So negative x times x squared is negative x to the third power. Negative x times x is negative x squared. And negative x times negative 6. Well, a negative times negative is positive. So this will be a positive 6x. All right, we will subtract by changing the signs. So this will become positive, and this will become negative. Now these two cancel out as always. But these two will make negative 6x squared, and then minus 6x. All right, one more time. We start over. So we're looking at the x squared and the negative 6x squared. And I ask myself, x squared times what will make negative 6x squared? That's easy. That's negative 6. And now I distribute. So sure enough, negative 6 times x squared is negative 6x squared. Negative 6 times x, wait, I meant to bring down stuff. All right, yeah, I'm bringing down the 36. So yeah, I'm just bringing stuff down. I'm bringing it down, y'all. So plus 0x and negative, whoa. Okay, so I have a negative 36 right here. Okay, I should have been bringing that down the whole time. Okay, just bring everything down. All right, so where was I? I was distributing or something. So, yeah, negative 6 times x squared is negative 6x squared. Negative 6 times x is negative 6x. And negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. Okay. All right. So I need to subtract by changing the signs. Okay, so the x squared cancels out, the x cancels out. The 36's do not cancel out. This makes negative 72 if I add these together. So that looks like we have a remainder for this problem. I'm out of space, so I'm going to have to copy it down here. So it looks like the answer is x squared minus x minus 6. So let's see, x squared minus x minus 6. All right, just copy that down. And then here comes the remainder. So minus, because it's negative, so minus 72 over x squared plus x minus 6. All right, and that is the answer for number 3. Okay, these problems take kind of a long time. But one more problem on this video, then I'll switch to the other video. All right, here comes the last problem on this video. Okay, I see 2 missing terms here, by the way, so watch out. I see the 4th power, but then there should be a 3rd power and a 2nd power. Both of those are missing. So the setup will be like this. On the outside, we have our x squared minus 4. I don't like that 2. Let me try that again. Okay, x squared minus 4. On the inside, all right, being careful of our missing terms, I've got 5x to the 4th power, and then here come 2 missing terms. So there should be a 0x to the 3rd power and a 0x squared. Both of those were missing. Then I can pick up where I left off with the 8x and the minus 9. So it's 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Okay, let's get started. All right, focus on the first terms first. x squared times what will make 5x to the 4th power? Well, I need the 5 in there. Okay, and I need x squared, which is why I put it here over the x squared. Because I know that x squared times x squared will make x to the 4th power. And I need the 5 too. So once I have this, I take it and I do the distributive property with it. Okay, 5x squared times x squared is 5x to the 4th power, just like we want it. 5x squared times negative 4. That is negative 20x squared. So I'm going to line that up with my squared term. So negative 20x squared. Great. Great, 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 great. Now, as soon as we distribute, we subtract by changing the signs. So this will become negative and this will become positive. Okay, so now these cancel. This is still just 0. It's the first thing, so I don't think I need a placeholder yet. If I put these together, that's going to make 20x squared. 0 plus 20 is 20. So I'm going to have 20x squared. All right, and then I will just bring down the rest. Okay, bring down your 8x, bring down your minus 9. And then you start over. So I got my x squared, but now I'm looking at this 20. So x squared times what is 20x squared? Well, you know we need the 20. So let's see. It's just 20 actually, because we want x squared and we have x squared, so we don't need any more x's. So x squared times 20 is 20x squared. Now take that 20 and distribute. Okay, so that 20 is coming like this. All right, 20 times x squared, of course, is 20x squared. That's what we wanted. 20 times negative 4 is negative 80. So I'm going to put that over here with the negative 9, because they are like terms. All right, now subtract by changing the sign. Minus and plus. These are gone. 8x has nobody to go with, so you just bring it down. So I've got 8x. Negative 9 and 80. That's positive 71. Okay, now as soon as we got to the constant, I knew I was finished with this part of the problem. And whatever is left is the remainder. Okay? Besides, there's nothing else I can multiply. If I said x squared times what will be 8x, well, you can't multiply by something and have less x's, fewer x's. So this is the remainder. So we will just go plus. All right, do I have room for this? Yeah. And I will put this in the numerator. So I'll have my 8x plus 71. And in the denominator, I have all of this. So 5x to the 4th power plus 8x minus 9. Okay, so this is the final answer. Okay, this video is 30 minutes long. That's a long time for 4 problems. Okay. All right. I will pick up from here on the next video as we start into synthetic division. And maybe it's good that this video was 30 minutes long, so you can appreciate, like, okay, that took 30 minutes. I bet the synthetic division part will take less than 30 minutes. And then you'll understand why synthetic division is so useful, because I think we can do it faster. But we'll see. We'll see. See you on the next video.